Hello everyone. So today let us talk about ordering of different tasks or different activities that you have in your org file. Now this video is not really uh, a solution. It is more about a workaround, or not even a workaround, but the approach that I follow. So let me explain the problem first. So if you are using org mode, you of course have the option to create different tasks and different activities, and you can obviously create something like a subtask, or maybe just another child entry. Now, when you're planning your work, or if you are maybe interested in using org mode, or I'm sure if you're already using org mode, you already have a way to do it, but you often need to also define or track, or in a way plan the order in which you want to do these activities. For example, if you have task one, if you're talking about a header and you have some children under it, so let us say in this case task 1 with subtask 1a, 1b, 1c, you may want to define here that okay, I want to do 1b first, or I want to do 1c first. So the way I do it is, so there are a couple of things that I do when it comes to using org mode, when it comes to using priorities, and I guess most of you are also doing the same thing. So I'll explain the reason behind it, and why this approach has worked for me or not worked for me, and the improvements that I want to do. So I, of course, look at my agenda like everyone else, the org agenda, and when I look at my org agenda, I expect the activities that I need to do already sorted based on the time. So when I plan something, let us say I want my subtask 1a to be done, or maybe I want subtask 1b to be done at a specific time. So I can, of course, do Control C, Control S, and I can not Control C, Control S, but I can do basically, I forgot what I was doing. Come on. So basically, what I wanted to do is Control C, Control S. I don't know why I'm not able to add. Okay, so now I'm able to add the time, or by default, if you do Control C, Control S, it will insert this schedule, right? Which is fine, which is not a problem. So basically, this will appear in our agenda on 17th, not on 18th, of course. And when you have a date assigned, you in a way are planning it to be delivered on a specific date. But even within a day, you may want to plan some activities to be done, or scheduled to be done on a specific or maybe at a specific time, or maybe a time range. So what you can also do is you can also do something like basically define the exact time and the range. For example, I want this activity to be done from 5 o'clock to 5:30, right? 1700 to 1730, and it will basically insert this this actual time. So when you have multiple activities with the same exact time, they will appear, of course, in the right order. So in this particular case, this activity 1b will appear first in the agenda. Apart from, so I do that when I need to know the order, because I usually do things, I try to do things by plan, and I have like time blocks during my day, and I of course plan my primary activities in the morning because I'm a morning person, and I do all the not so important, or maybe activities where I need to be a bit more relaxed in the evening. But apart from doing this, you can also do something like priorities. So maybe you can use, if you press, I think, Shift arrow, I need to look at my keyboard to tell you the exact shortcut or key binding, because I don't know, my fingers know about it. So basically, if you do Shift up arrow or down arrow, you can actually assign A, B, or C, which is like a priority, which actually works really, really nicely. But I don't really rely on it to define the order. I basically rely on the time, right? But this is for those cases where you know for sure that, okay, you need to do these activities today or tomorrow, or maybe on a specific day and time. But what if you're like doing some high level planning, or maybe you're doing some planning, or maybe you're just, brainstorming something that, okay, I have this task too, which is like a big activity, and I have like a lot of other activities which I also want to do. In that case, that is where I don't really have a solution. What I do is I simply rely on the order of the items that are there in the agenda, or not in the agenda, but basically in this file. So if I want subtask 2A to be done maybe after 2B, I will simply change the order manually, right? Because I like to see things that I want to do first on top, especially if you're doing, let us say, refiling. I mean, because I use org-capture, and org-capture will have like a, so there is like a file where all the items go that I want to do, that new ideas that are coming to my mind, and from that file I refile it to, let us say, the individual entries in my org file. And when you refile, the entries are added at the bottom anyways, so you can then of course move it up if you want to, or maybe assign a date to it. But for long-term planning, I usually rely on the order. I was thinking that maybe somehow I can add some kind of a property here, which I can then use something like a rank. But because I use I'm a Jira consultant, and in Jira there is a concept of ranking. But ranking is not just a number that you modify yourself. It is basically the system that will define it for you. Because this order, the problem is that this order is fine for just one file. What if you have multiple files? Because then you are talking about this order, this manual order, which is not only header specific but also file specific. Or when you're talking about multiple files, then it is you have to basically use some alphanumeric number, which is again, so basically you have to write your own algorithm for doing ranking or ordering of activities. But in this particular case, if you're doing some high level planning, I think just do the ordering yourself, like the actual order of the items. And I tried searching online like how other people are solving this problem. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I mean, I know that it is not really a feature of org mode where you define the order, and org mode will take care of that number or whatever order and use to display those items in your agenda somehow. And I think for long-term planning, it is not really that bad approach anyways, because when you're doing long-term planning, I guess you're not really, I mean, especially for me, I don't really have a lot of items to manually, for me it's not a problem to manually reorder it. But it can be a problem when you are probably doing a bit more detailed planning, but at the same time without any specific dates in mind. You just need to have some order. And this is something similar to a topic that I discussed earlier about dependencies. I'm not really sure if there is a proper way of managing dependencies in org mode. I guess we don't really need to, because org mode is, although it is powerful, but again, it is not for, I think org mode is only for like individuals to manage their own work. It is not a massive, I mean, you can probably do collaboration, but it is not massively useful when you're using org mode, collaborating with others, because in that case, you use something like, a proper issue tracking project management system. Anyways, so that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.